Hi, I'm Kelly, and this is a 50-minute yoga practice for the hips to keep your hips supple and mobile, as hips play such an important role in the body. By releasing tightness and tension, we open up our body to a world of change. It can ease back pain and make other yoga poses more accessible. Let's begin by starting with our legs long on our mats. From here, slowly bend the knees and take the soles of the feet together, opening up into a bound angle pose, and then drop the hands down towards the feet. Grounding down with the sit bones as we find length in the spine. We're not rounding the back, we're reaching our head skywards, sending energy out through the crown of the head. And start to breathe here with open hips. Bringing flexibility into the hips, into the inner thighs, and strengthening the back. Start to open up the feet with the hands. Opening up the feet like a book, dropping the elbows down a little bit further towards your shins, and perhaps edging forward, just hinging forward with the back. Keep your shoulders sliding down your back, gaze is down the tip of your nose. Breathing here. Last breath in stillness. Let's bring some movement into the pose. So as we exhale, we round the back, tuck the chin to the chest. And as we inhale, we find even more length, reach the crown of the head skywards. Draw the shoulders down the back. As we exhale, we fold. Tuck the chin to the chest. And as we inhale, we find length. 2 more times. As we exhale, we fold. Rounding into the spine, 1 vertebra at a time. And as we inhale, we lengthen. Last time, exhale, articulating through every single vertebrae. Inhale. Exhale, release, grounding down through the sit bones. Take your hands to the outside of your thighs. Encourage your knees in towards one another. From here, take your left leg down long on your mat and step your right foot over to the outside of your left thigh. Flex that left foot. Wrap your left hand around your right knee and take your right palm behind you. Press down with the right palm, press down with the right sole of the foot. As we start to gaze over your right shoulder, flexing that left foot away from you and hugging your knee in, feeling the stretch in the outer right hip. Keep breathing. Last breath. The inhale takes you through center. De-rotate 1 breath over to the left. Exhale, release that right leg down and long on your mat. Draw the left knee in towards you, sole of the foot comes to where your left knee was. And then we step over with the left foot. Flex that right foot. Hug your left knee in towards you with your right hand. Left hand comes back behind, really close to the body. So we're pressing down with the foundation in the left hand as we rise up with the spine. Gaze over your left shoulder. And every inhale, finding length, sending energy up through the back, through the crown of the head. And as we exhale, we twist a little bit further. Last breath. Inhale takes us back through center, de-rotate to the right, 1 breath. Great. Moving into a firelock pose. So taking both soles of the feet to where the knees were, taking the left sole of the foot over towards the right, underneath the right knee. And then we take the right sole of the foot on top of the left knee. And we've got a nice triangle where in our laps. So our shins are a little bit further ahead than really close to our lap. And perhaps there's a gap underneath your right knee. Or perhaps your right knee just sits nicely on your left sole of your foot. Any option is great. Start to walk your hands forward to a place that feels comfortable. Palms come down. Drop the head in space. Perhaps you come onto your forearms if you're quite flexible in the hips. Wherever we are, just pause here. Close your eyes down. Breathe into the outer hips. Last breath. Inhale, lift your forearm, plug down with your hands. Start to slowly rise up. Take a pause. And then release the feet. So feet come to where the knees were. And then let's move the opposite way. Take the right sole of the foot underneath the left knee. And then the left foot comes on top of the right knee. Wiggle around so you get as much space between your pelvis and your shins as possible. Find length first on the inhale, and then exhale, we start to fingertip our hands forward. Come down to whatever feels good. You'll know the point of the stretch and breathe into it. Breathe into the resistance. Feeling the sensations in the outer left hip. Closing the eyes down. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, come up onto your palms, walk your fingertips back. Slowly release your legs, transitioning to an all fours position. Move your hips side to side. And when you're ready, stepping the right foot on the outside of the right hand. Walk that right foot to the edge of your mat. And then we start to walk the hands to the top left corner of the mat. Untuck the back toes. As we start to drop the head and feel the stretch deeper into the right hip. Come onto the fingertips and walk the fingertips away. Perhaps coming down on your forearms if this feels good. So a variation of a lizard here. Inhale, head rises, walk your hands back through center, moving into the traditional lizard. Option to stay on your palms, option to come down on your left forearm, followed by your right forearm, perhaps taking blocks and pressing down on your blocks. Drop your head, breathe into your right hip. One last breath. Inhale, plug down with the hands, rise up with the torso. From here, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Take the right hand on the right side of the right foot. And then take the right foot behind the left wrist, moving into our pigeon. Left leg sends down and long on your mat. Untuck your back toes. Can you send that left leg down a little bit longer? Placing a block underneath your right sit bone if it's really elevated up. Drawing your right hip back, left hip forward. Pausing here, plug down with the hands. Feel the back bend. And then exhale, start to lower the torso down. Exhale, release your forehead. Forehead kisses your earth. 5 breaths here. On every exhale, can you soften down a little bit more? Inhale, cleansing breath. Exhale, releasing breath. Inhale, find space in the chest. Exhale, surrender down. Last breath. Inhale, peels the forehead off your mat. Walk your hands back. Plug down with your hands, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Step that right foot back to all fours position. Pause here. Lift the feet and windscreen wiper your feet side to side. Release back to center. Step the left foot on the outside of the left hand. Position your hands in line with the left foot. Perhaps heel toe the right foot back a little bit. From here, start to walk your hands out to the right corner of your mat, dropping your head between your arms, untucking the back toes and release down. Walk your fingers away from you as much as feels okay. Feeling the sensations in the inner left hip. Perhaps soften down with the palms, soften down with the forearms wherever you are. Closing the eyes down. Inhaling back to center, moving into lizard pose. Option to stay on your palms, gaze down the tip of your nose and breathe here. Or come down on your right forearm, followed by your left. Drop your head heavy, chin tucks to chest. Breathing here. Inhale, head rises. Come back on your palms, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Send the left foot behind the right wrist into your pigeon pose. Slide the right leg down and long. Connect with your lower back into the back bend first. If you're feeling any discomfort in the knee, draw your knee in towards you, which will send your foot back towards your midline. If you want to strengthen the pose, move your left foot a little bit more to 90 degrees behind your wrist. Exhale, start to walk your hands out in front. Come down on your forearms, keeping your forearms at shoulder width. Releasing your head heavy so your forehead kisses your mat. Pause here, 5 breaths. Sensation of drawing the right hip forward, sending the left hip back so both hips are squared even towards the front of your mat. Last breath. Inhale, forehead rises. Come onto your palms, walk your hands back, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Move back to that all fours position. Untuck the toes, sit back on your heels. Release your hands on your thighs, close your eyes for a moment. Pausing before we work into our deepest hip stretch. Moving into frog pose. Taking our hands back to all fours position. Walking our knees out so they're as wide apart as the edge of your mat. And then we're going to take the inside edge of the feet to your mat. Coming a little wider, but maybe taking a blanket underneath your knees. Our foundation is the inside edge of our knees and the inside edge of our feet. As we send the hips back in space, we come down onto our forearms. Drawing the belly in and up, sending your hips back as the primary move of the pose. And perhaps your knees edge out slightly on every exhale. Releasing the forehead. Breathing here, 5 breaths. Option for a soft gaze down the tip of your nose or closing your eyelids. Surrendering down to the earth. Receiving the support in your hands, your forearms, the inside edge of your knees, all the way down one side of your calf into your feet. As you receive the support, we release into the stretch. Last few breaths. Start to blink your eyes open slowly, gaze comes up. Lift up onto your palms, draw your belly in and start to heel toe your feet back towards one another. Keeping your knees as wide as your mat, big toes touch. Walk your hands out in front for a wide-legged child's pose. Release your forearms, release your forehead. Exhaling. Stay here for as long as you need.